And now for our next honoree, the former pitcher, the great Mike Krukow.
All right. Thank you, Alex. It is the seventh inning, so I think we all need to stand up and join with me as we sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. A 1, a 2, a 3. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if I ever get back, for it's root for the Giants. If they don't win, it's a shame, for it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game. Thank you. Thank you. If we don't have Peter Magowan, we're not singing that song in San Francisco. That chorus ends in 1992, and the Giants are playing in Tampa. And Peter rallied a group of historians. Other people may call them investors. We call them historians. And through his energy and the energy of Larry Baer, they got it done. And they kept this team here. And because of that, we had junior Giants, which now have 28,000 boys and girls who are in socioeconomically depressed areas that couldn't afford to play baseball. And now they're playing baseball. They have a league. They have coaches. Without Peter Magowan, there's no Until There's a Cure Day, which started in 1996 and now has raised over $1.5 million and a lot of awareness. Without Peter, we don't have a ballpark that is by many believed to be the best ballpark ever made. I believe that. We don't have 3 parades. And more important to guys that put the uniform on and played here, we had nowhere to go. If that team left and went to Tampa, we're lining the bird cages. That's what we did. But he made all of us relevant that played. He made the Hall of Famers relevant to the rest of their lives. And what do you say we meet the man right now in our film?
On that unforgettable, miraculous day in 1951, young Peter Magowan's love of the Giants was cemented. It would begin a lifelong love affair with the team that would take many twists and turns over the next 50 years. The first painful twist came just 6 years later when the Giants left New York City for San Francisco.
It broke the heart of Peter Magowan that his favorite team was leaving New York City.
I was very disheartened. Somehow I didn't think it could ever happen.
His heartbreak didn't last long. As destiny would have it, Peter's father was transferred that same year to the Bay Area, where he served as CEO of Safeway.
For Peter, he was just glad to be here, glad to see the Giants at Seal Stadium and see Cepeda and Jim Davenport and McCovey and Mays and Marichal.
After graduating from Stanford and Oxford universities, Magowan returned to Safeway, where over the next quarter century, he rose through the ranks, working just about every job in the company and honing his leadership skills.
He was such an energetic young guy. Here's a guy who is not yet 40, and he's chairman of the Fortune 500 company, CEO of the biggest supermarket chain in the United States.
It was a turbulent time in the grocery industry, with consolidations and the emergence of new superstores. The young Magowan fought off a leveraged buyout, took the company private, and developed a strong commitment to serving the community.
He opened up Safeway to help communities more with their problems. We raised a lot of money in the Bay Area for AIDS, raised millions of dollars for people with disabilities.
Early in his career, Magowan understood the importance of having women in leadership positions.
One of the things that changed things was Peter's insistence that women have a bigger role in running the company. Peter had three women on his board, and when he left, more than half of his executive team was female.
All during this time, the Giants remained close to Magowan's heart. He served on the Giants board, and he and wife Debbie regularly attended games at windblown Candlestick Park. Then in 1992, Magowan again faced the awful prospect of losing his beloved Giants. He was determined to fight the move.
We came together and we said, it can't happen. Somehow we've got to lead with our hearts and figure out a way for the Giants to stay in San Francisco.
We had to put together a group of civic-minded individuals that were willing to put their money in to keep the team here.
And like the 51 Giants, Magowan defied the naysayers and skeptics by saving the team. And a few years later, led the effort to build a new world-class and privately financed ballpark in downtown San Francisco.
One of my favorite qualities of Peter, probably his number one characteristic in my mind, is his never say die attitude.
His bold leadership, signing Barry Bonds and hiring an untested manager by the name of Dusty Baker, laid the early foundation for the club's future success.
From day one, Peter felt that seeing the Giants as a community leader was really as important as any other initiative.
We hope the 50,000 of you here today.
Magowan and the Giants raised awareness and millions of dollars for AIDS research and breast cancer prevention, reducing violence, and growing the Junior Giants program for underserved youth.
That's Peter Magowan, and he gave us that legacy here. This ballpark, he stands among the greats of Giants franchise history.
Peter couldn't be here tonight for health reasons, and he wanted me to present this award to Mike Krukow on our behalf. So, Kruk, this is for Peter.
Thank you, Alex. And we have a tape here that Peter made for all of you to let you know just how much this meant to him.
I'm sorry I cannot be with you tonight, but medical complications got in the way. I'm very hopeful that I will overcome these problems, and I'm very thankful for the honor that is being given to me. First, I'd like to make a few set of thanks. First, to everybody here tonight. I appreciate your willingness to be a part of the celebrations, so thank you for coming. Now for some other thank yous. First, to Mike Krukow. Not only is he destined for the Hall of Fame in the broadcaster's wing, but he is also, along with his family, a dear friend and a real inspiration. Mike has faced and is facing complications from a very nasty disease that he must live with for the rest of his life. But he has managed to not lose a beat. His skills, his sense of humor, his optimistic attitude towards baseball and life are still there. In fact, more so than ever. His example is of great help to anyone, such as me, who has also had to face serious medical challenges. Next, I'd like to thank the Bay Area Council, and in particular the previous president of their board, Larry Baer, and their CEO, Jim Wunderman, for honoring me tonight. It was my privilege to serve on the board with both of them for many years, and I always felt that under their leadership, the council was inspirational in fighting for causes that improve the Bay Area for all of us. I'd like to thank the two organizations that I spent the last 40 years with, Safeway and the Giants. Representatives of both of these places are here tonight, and I'm very grateful that they are. In particular, I would like to thank Bob Bradford of Safeway and Larry Baer of the Giants for their leadership and for their participation in the video that you've just seen. Finally, I'd like to thank my family, many of which are here tonight, in particular my wife of 36 years, Debbie. She has supported me throughout my business career, enduring the absences caused by a lot of travel, attending all those many baseball games, and being the best care provider anyone could ever ask for, in addition to being a great mother and grandmother. A grocery company and a baseball team would not appear to have much in common, but in my opinion they do. Both must try to provide very discerning customers with what they want. Both must try to employ friendly, efficient, hardworking people who truly try to do their best for every single patron. Both must set very challenging goals and then do everything they can to meet them. Both must earn support. It is not provided automatically. In my opinion, any company, not just Safeway or the Giants, must strive to make the community in which they do their business a better place. Safeway did this in many ways, but the one I would like to highlight was our involvement with an organization dedicated to helping physically challenged people. That's Easter Seals. Bob Bradford became the chairman of our outreach efforts. I did not start our participation with Easter Seals. One employee in a Colorado store did. We became the largest supporter of Easter Seals in the United States through the involvement of all of our employees. The Giants continued this interest in hiring people with disabilities, who often were never given a chance to work before. We soon found out that hiring disadvantaged people made an organization better in 3 ways. First, they were great employees. They never seemed to get sick or missed an assignment. Next, they were very popular with all their fellow workers. And finally, our customers gave us great credit for offering these opportunities. The Giants knew, after their almost fatal scare of being moved to Florida, that if we were going to be successful, we had to be supported by the entire community, not just our baseball fans. So we tried hard to earn that support. We were the first team to persuade every one of our players and coaches to work for a charity of their choice. In 1994, we played a game to raise awareness for AIDS research. We started a program to get disadvantaged young kids to play baseball. Not so much really to play baseball, but to better prepare themselves for their future. How to be a good teammate, how to listen to your coaches, how to try hard to get better, how to respect your opposition, how to both win and lose, and finally, how to have fun. Now, 25,000 kids are enrolled in these programs. The Giants built 10 beautiful baseball fields in disadvantaged areas. These are just some of the ways in which we tried to make our community better. I'm sure that every company that is represented tonight shows these values of wanting to make their communities better. They may do it in a different way than we do. They may well do it better than we do. At the end of the day, I know that we will all do what we can to support each other's efforts, and that doing so together, we will make our lives and our communities better. Thank you very much.
In closing, I would like to read a letter written to Peter by a man who was a senior executive in the Bob Lurie Giants regime, and he was a senior executive in the Peter Magowan regime as well. And we often said that you're judged by the impression that you have on the people you lead. The letter goes like this. Dear Peter, I wanted to get some thoughts in your hands. I know you have health issues and are battling through them. I'll be there Thursday night when they honor you. I suspect that you may not be there. My Irish father's favorite dog-eared and chestnut of a line, none of us are getting out of this thing alive, applies. What's most important to keep in mind, however, is what did we do with the life that we were given? That is what I hope you can focus on these days and what I'm writing about. It was my good fortune to get to know you, get to work with and for you, and most of all, be inspired by you. Surely, your dear secretary, used to say admiringly, Peter has an awesome capacity for work. She couldn't have been more accurate, but there's so much more. Your awesome capacity for work doesn't tell the whole story. I would combine that ethic with the sharpened instincts of what customers really want and expect, the courage to go hard against conventional attitudes and people who don't get it, and the appreciation for what is most important, and I haven't even mentioned baseball yet. Your love for the game, the history, and the participants is what separates you from the rest. It's easy for everyone who looks at the Giants' success now, how they are regarded in the local and national community, how they have delivered value to their stakeholders and fans, to forget how it all happened. We always will remember how it did happen. It was a parade that so many people simply stepped in front of, and that's okay. That's what we all hope for. But without you, there never would have been a parade at all. I was honored to have been at the right place at the right time to be a small part of the story. It changed my life and the lives of my family, but also the millions of others who have been entertained, inspired, enriched by the effort you visualized and you led. Please allow yourself to focus on that for a moment. The pride in the Giants uniform and the celebration of and by the participants are also part of your legacy. It's easy to recognize a culture that is built on that. Not easy at all to create it. Knowing you, you'll spread the credit around for all of that, but you are responsible for all of it. Shirley would say it's an awesome legacy. She couldn't be more right about that. Thanks again for letting me be part of it. Best always, Pat Gallagher. For the Magowan family, for the Magowan family, for all of us in the Giants family, and for Peter Magowan, you have honored all of us. Thank you.